And we should be live. Let me go ahead and check. It says we're live, but are we actually live? Let me just get this as quickly as possible. Okay, that says we're live. Yes, you're live, Ace, says Johnny. Okay, that is good to hear. Johnny says, hello, everyone. Johnny's here. Diego Hernandez says, hey, Ace. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today we are back with some Settlers 4. So it's been a little while since we've played some more Settlers 4. So I believe we are, well, time for us to get back into it. So we'll be just using Settlers United to play it like normal. And then that should get us in game. Yes, you're live. All right, cool. So yeah, the last video where we left off, we ended up beating the second mission in the in the main campaign, which is the which was a second Roman mission, which means today we're going to be doing a little bit more. Well, we're going to be playing a brand new faction.
Of Rolf's Horn. Our hearts are heavy, and our brows weighted with perplexity. Our forests are blackened, their proud trees gnarled and bent. The sacred burial grounds, the place of rest for the followers of Rolf, are surrounded by death and decay. What dark beast dares disturb this place of peace? Our spies have returned with reports that the Romans and Mayas make use of gardeners to free the land of its blackened decay. We pray that our gardeners can undo such unnatural damage.
Alright, so it says it would be unwise to try to capture the Dark Tribe's temple at this stage. Instead, we should focus on building up a strong army. The mountain to the southwest could well be home to valuable treasures of use there. Our troops will be needed to ensure the gardeners' safety as they carry out their work. So we're mainly going to be using archers as well as some gardeners and maybe a priest or two. The priests would probably be to destroy their buildings, but alternatively, since we are playing a brand new faction, that faction being the Vikings, we can now do something a little bit different. Alright, let's get these guys recovered as quickly as possible. Now, as the Vikings, we do have a few unique little tools that can help us. Alright, so what do we have to start off? Yeah, these guys are toast, but they are going to potentially scout a little bit for us at least. Alright, well, what do we have available to us? We don't have a sawmill, but we do have a lumberjack. We'll need that. We'll also want a forester, which I'll place right there. We're also going to want to get our tower game going as quickly as possible. And is there any good stone deposits that are found? Yes, right here. This is also a case of I really like the soundtrack to this game too. The Viking theme is gloriously good in my opinion, for what it's worth. Yeah, the music in this game, particularly this theme, has gotten stuck in my head for the past 20 years. In all the right ways, I will give it that, so. Or was it 25 years? It's getting close to that point at this stage. Johnny says, YouTube tried to give me trouble watching your stream and failed. Nice way to kick off July. Yeah. Thanks, YouTube. Alright, let's see what else we can find of note. Do we have any geologists? No, and we desperately need one. You go scout there. And I will get the stonemason operational. While we're at it, another tower would be of use, especially right there. So we've found iron already. That is excellent news. Alright, it looks like the best way to get to here would actually be to use pioneers. So how many can we actually recruit? Up to 3. And also gonna need a lot of houses right off the bat. So coal and iron are both being found in abundance already, so that's good news for us. And now we're gonna see what we can find down here in the immediate area. Good, that should cover everything that's needed there. There is one unit that we have that's going to be pretty useful, I think, for the fights. That is unique to the Vikings, and that is the Axemen. These guys can destroy buildings. Which doesn't include just towers, but should also include industrial and infrastructure stuff. So really useful for dealing with the Dark Tribe when you have to, you know, defeat their farms in order to stop them from actually recruiting armies that are going to fight back. Okay, so we'll take these guys here. And now we need our population to grow. As quickly as possible. That's ready to go. Okay, we can even technically start scouting this area here, but really what we're going to want to focus on is, I guess, see what we can find down there. Once that's big enough that it can actually build a tower, I will then start to try to get them to basically slink their way as quickly as possible over to here so we can, you know, expand our territory. Let's see, is it actually large enough yet? No. Alright, once we build another, let's see, what do we even have to work with in terms of resources here? We do have a couple of Sauls, and we will be making good use of that. So the big thing with the Vikings, I should mention this, is that the different factions actually require different ratios of resources like stone and wood. And the Vikings are much more wood-focused on their buildings than, say, the Romans or the Mayans. The Mayas are actually especially stone heavy, which can be a bit of a problem for them, I suppose. But having a more wood-focused faction does provide a lot of perks, especially if you can get your wood production up and running smoothly. Okay, so what I will do is build another tower here, and we'll start some more wood production over there. And now we can start getting enough carriers to actually get our economy running up there. Okay, we are now at the stage where we can potentially start expanding very quickly over here. Pal says, hello, YouTube recommended me your channel. What is your channel about? I do mostly gaming, some news stuff as well, admittedly, but I try to be a gaming channel. I also cover some comic books, so... But I do like to cover a lot more older school obscure games, especially. But like I said, I do cover some news, but really it's more of a necessity these days, I think, more than really much of an option, unfortunately, you know. But yeah. Anyways, welcome to the channel. So we got some more stone here. We got coal there, which is excellent. And we do have another potential source of resources over there. So actually head north and see what we can find. Alright. Now... get that going. Might as well get up to 3 of these since we have 3 saws total, you know. So that means we'll build one up here and hopefully one down here or something. While we're expanding, let's expand a little bit more. Alright, I'd say that's good there. Let's combine here. We are finding a lot of stone supplies, so that is really, really useful for later on. In fact, I do need to expand a little bit faster, I think. Even more resources over here. That is really, really useful. Let's take a good look at what we have for other stuff here. So we're going to need to build a tool workshop first, definitely, because we're not going to have any size. Which means we're not going to be able to immediately replenish these guys on bread. So that's going to be very important. Alright, so the coal, we'll get a coal mine here, since I know there's a little bit there. And an iron mine we'll place right here. How many pickaxes do we have? 1. That could be a problem. How many miners do we have? Alright. Build another forester hut right here, right next to it. Then the sawmill we can put slightly further away, and that should be good. House says, I'm wondering why you were recommended. Not really. Gaming channel enthusiast myself. I watch mostly political stuff. Are you libertarian? I definitely lean in that direction, I'd say. Like I said, I do cover news stuff, which does mean some political stuff, as I've said. But yeah, like I said, so I do have... my audience basically is can be best described as has some political viewers as well as some gaming viewers as well, is more or less the best way to describe the makeup of it. So there you go. Alright, we should be able to quickly expand over here. Whoops, wrong way. wrong dude. We'll have him see what's over there since we already have access to that. I'll have you go there, and that will very quickly get that all settled. Alright. We do have our coal and our iron coming out now, so we'll get an iron smelting and a toolsmith. We're going to need way more stuff, of course, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to expand down here, try to get some of these trees cut with the woodcutter. Actually, the reason why is we're going to use that for our grain and meat production, so do need a dude to head up north, let's see what we can find over here while we're at it. Well, he's found both gold and coal there, so that is excellent. Now, let's see what else we can find. Yanni says, that video you did on Gojira -1 suggests that. Yep. By the way, I recommended that movie to one of my relatives, talked to her on Sunday, and she told me she saw it and really enjoyed it. Yeah, it is a really good movie, too, so. Alright, so we've just expanded this enough that we can actually do that. Have to be a little cautious with this because, you know, not that much available. Okay, we'll do that. And you can build a sigh. I'm gonna be a little bit slow on production for the immediate time because we only have one coal mine and it's not the best position in the world, but we can build more, of course. Alright, now, part 2 of my plan. Wait till we can actually either... what I'll actually do is get these two here to make it so I can expand enough to build a tower, which I'll quickly delete, but then I'll automatically have access to an easy supply of resources here. Alright, we can build ourselves another coal mine. We might need to get a pickaxe going before we can actually use it, but having it is going to go a long way. Do we actually need any more pickaxes right yet? No, we can actually get away with getting that coal mine there set up, so that is excellent news. Alright. You can go up here, see what this is. Send my dudes out here. Try to see what else we can find. And can I build a small tower here? Not quite yet, but we are getting close. And once we do, I'll immediately, like I said, delete that, and we'll be all set to expand even further. Alright, let's see how much... Okay, we're good there. Eating that. And let's see. Found a desert, which could be potentially... Not really a whole lot there, except for a few trees, which I'm not even sure can actually be replanted, so there's that. Hello, so Eric Rayner says, hello Ace, are you settled? Bet him to... I'll see myself out. That's okay, no worries. Hope you are all enjoying, like I said, this stream as much as I'm enjoying playing the game, because this is a fun little relaxing game in my opinion. It does have a little challenge to it, of course, but, well, that's just part of the fun to some degrees, isn't it? Alright, that should give us easy access to that. Now for the gold mines, so the way the food system works for those who are new to this game is that basically the different miners like different types of food and are more efficient when you feed them those types of food, and that's where the food industry in this game really comes into play. So gold miners here, for example, like fish. So all we have to do is expand our borders to here. We'll be able to get some fisherman huts set up, and the gold production should flow smoothly as a direct result. We're going to need this tower to be deleted, so we can then move this dude over here. I think the goal is going to be to try to get both of these areas here settled, potentially, because we're going to need more coal and stuff like that, and everything is considered finite in this game, so, you know, good idea to have that set up. Alright, so I think now we're at the stage where we can increase production here. So yeah, the plan, we're going to build an army, of course, because we have to in order to retake that territory that we lost to the Dark Tribe. And we're going to need to use it to defend the Gardeners as they do their work, but we're probably going to try focusing a bit more on Axemen today, because that is going to be the fastest way to deal with a lot of the stuff that we're going to be facing over there. We have to take care of the enemy mushroom farms or defeat them, so like I said, best way to do that I think is going to be to use my axemen to actually destroy those while the archers do their thing and wreck the daylights out of the actual enemy army itself. So now we can start to finally begin food production. Gonna get a waterworks set up. And we're going to want a mill, and finally a bakery. We can actually do up to 2 bakeries to cover everything we need there, and that should be plenty for both the coal mines as well as the stone mine I'm going to build right here. Vikings do have a couple of advantages other than relying more on wood than other civs in this game. One of the other advantages is the charcoal kiln, which allows you to produce more logs, produce coal directly from using logs. We have a lot of woodcutters, so it makes it a good idea to do that. Eric says, God, I have a joke, but it's too spicy. Aristocrat Cthulhu says, hello, always glad to see you doing your colonial duties, Ace. Oh, you know it. Alright. Build here. Delete this tower. And continue to embrace our inner Leif Erikson. While we're at it, we can even build another one of these. Because I think to get, from what I've actually read, I actually was able to find a really rare guide on this game. Just to learn a little bit more about the in-game economy, of course, and found that apparently, according to what I've read, the best efficiency is 2 grain farms per mill. Then you're going to want another one for the meat production, which is going to be done. Well, there's an early game way to do meat production, and that is going to be the hunter right here, which I will put to good use. How's our pop doing? Low enough that we should build another large house, and so we shall. So there are 9 stone required for this, so... Could probably get away with another grain farm, actually, which would be nice because it'll get me... Or wheat farm, because that will get me way into producing the pig farm here. Once that's done, he can go straight to the butcher, and that will get us our meat for the iron mines. Faust says, have some shekels for playing one of my fave games. Oh, thank you very much, Faust. Alright. So, yeah, thank you very much, Faust, like I said. And thanks to anyone else that donates, for the record. I cannot thank you guys enough whenever you do that. Ajutine says, like Romans in 3. Which is correct. Cthulhu says, the stream is repeating again, just like last time you streamed this game. I guess the streaming software really doesn't like this. That's weird. If it is doing that, yeah, that is really weird. And Eric says, I see Faust is from my country. Alright. Now, let's continue. I guess, like I said, the plan is going to be to expand here. Not much there to scout, but more stone to be found. I know this is going to be a massive circle in that there's going to be... We basically have to go around the map just to send troops wherever we're going, so that is something to keep in mind. Johnny says the shades of green and blue in this game are still very nice. Yes, they are. This game has aged spectacularly well. I mean, admittedly, part of it is that this is using an upscale texture pack, thanks to Settlers United. But the actual color work was still pretty much this gorgeous back in the day when this game was brand spiking new. Xsphere says, I had stuttering issues as well. Switching browsers from Chrome to Edge fixed it for me. So it could actually be an issue with Edge as a browser. Okay. Or no, Chrome as a browser. Alright. Let's build another tower here. Like I said, we're going to try expanding as much as possible. Alright, so we clearly need to give priority to this bad boy here, and once we do, actually going to hold off on building the pig ranch or this third grain farm here, as they are not immediately necessary. Alright. Eric says, this game does not have cotton as a resource, does it? Because I think I know what type of food for the workers in the field. Oh, no. No, it does not have that. It does not have that, no. Johnny says, I've been occasionally hearing people talk about browsers in the last couple of weeks. Not in the advertising way, it's just sometimes comes up for some reason. So, more potential resources here. Something worth maybe exploring. Okay, so where are these guys at now? So, one of them is here. We'll actually start to expand down there. Don't know where the other two are that I have. Oh, they're right here. Yeah, you guys can also expand my borders here so I can start getting some fishing huts built. Alright. What games are you planning to play in the future? Asked Faust. Thank you once again for that donation. I'm probably going to be playing, well, I know I'm going to be playing some more Final Fantasy VI since I've been, you know, going through that already. And I am going to continue playing this, because the pacing of this game, it's going to be one mission per stream, because, you know, with the possible exception of the next mission in the campaign here, because the next mission can actually be beaten fairly quickly, but most of the missions are a multi-hour affair. And in fact, I'm playing this game already on ×2 speed, and according to the game, we've been at it for almost an hour. In reality, we've been at it for about half an hour, but, you know. Alright. Population is increasing, which means we can now start our production for farm and ranch. And from there, let's see, I think we probably should consider making some beekeepers, which are going to be useful for making mead. Mead is going to be useful for making prayers, which are going to be extremely effective way of dealing with certain things that we're going to be facing, so, you know, could be useful. Good idea to get this done now. Get a waterworks set up. Alright, now what has he found? Some coal, some stone, and some sulfur. Sulfur is not useful for the Vikings or the Romans, really. It's only useful for the Maya, because for some reason only the Maya in this game have access to gunpowder. But it does mean that we can technically trade it if we have Maya in this mission, but since we don't, it doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. We can, however, continue to explore and see what we find. Eric says Maya's gunpowder. Yes. Alright, so Aristocrat Cthulhu says, would you look at that? The stream is repeating on Brave, but not on Edge. Chrome really doesn't like this game being streamed, which is really odd. Okay. So we now know for a fact that this is a problem with the browsers, more specifically in this case. Which is weird because I am using, I'm actually using the YouTube app to watch this. That's probably why I wasn't seeing this issue on my end. Johnny says, thanks again for the Final Fantasy VI streams. Before you started them, I had actually wanted to refresh on that game for a while. Eric says, like, I could see them having access to only once they die. Okay, why don't you start? There we go. Alright, so I think the economy is now in the state where we can start producing some proper weapons and all that. Where do I want to put this? Because I want... Okay, so the supply line suggests I try to set it somewhere where I have easy access to both gold and iron. That could be done here. Problem is, that also means that all the troops I would be recruiting have to go all the way across the map. So to try to shorten that a little bit, I guess my best bet is to send them out like that. So for this, we're going to build a fishing pole. In fact, we're going to build 2 fishing poles. We'll use that to get our fishing huts set up. That way we have a very readily available access to fish. Resource. Gold mine there, and a gold mine here. And nope, just 2. Okay. I don't see any point in getting anything else at the immediate time. You need a pickaxe? Okay, we'll just get ourselves a pickaxe since I forgot. In fact, we'll need a couple of pickaxes. Now, since we do have access to iron here as well, could get some ore produced there, and then that should do it for the most part. I'm gonna expand a little bit more, build a tower up here. Alright, we got our mead production en route now, so we now just need to start building temples. These are going to be how we get the favor of the gods, and then from there we build a large temple, which we actually have actual priests that can cast spells. Not getting anything from that. Okay, potential new mining site here could be useful, although there's not a whole lot here, so you know. Wait, there might be. Okay. So it does look like there are multiple ways in. We can make good use of that if we play our cards right. But once we go around the donut enough, I think we'll be good for the most part, too. There we are. Oh yeah, I need to move the woodcutter back over here so he can keep getting resources. There we go. Alright, so Faust says, brave user here, I have issues, but switching to Firefox helped. Well, that's good to hear. Eric says, I used Firefox since forever. Only issues I have when YouTube implements anti-ad blocks. Aristocratic Thulu says, that causes issues on all browsers when they do something stupid. Just gotta give it a few days and ad block chads sorted out, indeed. Jutine says, the only thing is I can consider issues on Brave and YouTube. On Brave is YouTube fuckery over ad block, playing videos and such. Indeed. Alright. Let's see, we've got more resources here to look at, I guess. It looks like there's even a bridge, so we can have another look. Plenty of trees and whatnot here, but not really necessarily needed at this stage. Okay, I don't really see much in the way of resources here, unless I am very mistaken. Yeah, it looks like a whole lot of nothing, but we can at least expand our border here, which means we can get our troops a little bit closer to the action once it does kick off. Alright, so Faust says, damn, your oldest video is 16 years old. Crazy. Thank you once again for the donation, Faust. Yeah, I've been at it since 2009. Yeah. Played a little bit of Battlefield 1918 before. That was a video made before I ended up joining the team on that, so. Move here. Need just a little bit more wood and we're golden. It looks like we actually have a surplus of pigs, which means we can actually maybe build another butcher shop if we really want. But it could just be a result of, you know. Okay, let's actually impact resource production. We're not going to be building any sulfur mines, so let's not use it for that. And that should be everything we need in terms of the resources getting getting reduced and all that, so we're good. Alright. Another coal mine will be a good idea right here. And a second one just for the sake of it right here. And also... there. Sometimes the music does have a minor glitch like that, and you just fix it by doing that. So what I'm going to do is swap out swords for battle axes. That should get the resources we need really going there. And then storage. We're going to want some storage here for metal, for iron specifically, because we're going to be producing a lot of weapons using it. Alright. CIARAN says, YouTube streaming seems to have a lot of problems recently. Lags everywhere. Can't watch any stream in 1080p at all. That is very unfortunate to hear. Okay, we're close to being... So I think we're at the point now where what we should be doing is getting a couple more of these guys with... We'll get a couple more guys to shovel stuff around and a couple more guys to get hammers built for buildings, since that seems to be a bottleneck right at this time. Now, we could actually build another food production here, since that would give us easy access to more of that, so we can easily get the bread production here up going, and that means more for these guys, so that's good. Alright, we'll build this tower here. I think we're getting to the point where we don't really need to expand too much more. The only place I could think of would probably going to have any really good resources is going to be right down there. So where is my geologist? Here he is, up here. Okay. You scout that, see what you can find. I don't think he's going to find much, but hey, if he does find something, then at least we'll know. Let me see if YouTube's actually doing any silliness to hide comments or something. Nope, it isn't. Okay, we're good. Alright, so we've now got that producing stuff. We'll be able to get our gold production up soon. And that should be, I think, we're almost at the point where, yeah, we basically have a border opened up there, but just in case, we're going to build this here. Then we can build the barracks somewhere around here, and that should be good for us. I'd probably get away with another mead maker and another small temple. So I'll build that, and then for the large temple, where do I want to place it? I guess this is going to be the best spot right here. Population is pretty good. But we might as well get a large house built, since now is the perfect opportunity. You can focus on getting all the goodies here ready to go. Yes, we'll build this bad boy right here. Oh yeah, I need another pickaxe. Let me fix that. And while we're at it, we're also going to build a storage right here for tools. And what else can we build? That should cover the northern area pretty easily, I think. And once we get our gold production up, which actually, now that I think about it, we need another gold smelt to do that really efficiently. Alright. That looks good to me. Has he found anything? No, he has not. Alright. So that should be our economy up and running pretty much. And now we'll be able to just build an army, crush the ever-living daylights out of whatever we need to find. Oh, stonecutter is not working anymore. Let's fix that. That does mean that stone is going to be a long-term issue eventually, but we've got enough stone mines. Between the stone mine here and the supplies we have down there and elsewhere, right down here, we should be good for a while. I will actually build another area just for grain farming up here, because that does appear to be a necessity right now, so we will do that. Mill and a couple of bakeries. And that should be that supply line secured pretty strongly. Nothing there, it looks like. So it does seem like we're going to be able to start producing else we need soon. We're going to start getting our military production up is the plan, and that means we're going to start with the gold production very quickly, which is very important in this game for those who don't know, because without gold, you're for a start, you're going to be just recruiting basic tier units rather than the higher tier stuff. So for example, we click on these guys, level 1, level 2, level 3. To get level 3, you need 2 pieces of gold plus the weapon. And that is very useful because they have more health, can do, and thus stay in the fight a lot longer. And in this game, and that does matter. But the other reason is because our fighting military strength is not that good right now, and to increase that, we use gold. With what to do what you ask? We're going to build a bunch of decorations that's going to increase everyone's morale and cause them to fight harder. These can be built pretty much anywhere, so as much as this is going to cause growing pains for the settlement, it's kind of a necessity, so we might as well get this out of the way while we can. Usually building one of everything is enough to get your morale high enough to actually, for your armies to be really useful, so that's exactly what we're going to do. It's going to take a lot of gold, though, to do it. Okay, so that fixes that population problem. And it looks like we're good on bows and other stuff at this stage, so I think the long-term strategy here is once we get our border up there, we can start getting an apothecary, or a healer basically up, which means that we won't have to worry about... Where's the other pioneers at? Oh, they're up here. Let's fix our border a little bit. We'll fix that, and also this for the sake of it. And that should really do that. We could probably do with another butcher now I'm looking at it like this, so... Yeah, having 50 of these should definitely put us where we need to be on that front, so good. Barracks is built. Now we just need to actually get another storage. You always want to have a storage right next to your barracks so you can specialize it into gold. That way you store all your gold there and you won't be just bottlenecked to just 8 per these guys. So, yeah. I cannot stress how essential that is to getting your economy going in this game. At least the military side of it. So, what's left? We have... Once the grain production really kicks in here, we should be good. Maybe build a stone mine here? Yeah, why not? And now that this facility is built, just casually put all the stuff we need there. You can go up here, I guess, and see what you can find. So now we're already starting to see the improvements to our attack ability because we've started building a few things. The Great Farm here is going to increase it a little bit more. This is definitely going to increase it once it's finished. And what else? I don't think there's anything else I really need aside from getting what's already under construction finished. The other thing these guys can do is eventually replenish the stockpiles of resources, since those can actually run low, and that will be a problem when they do. Alright. So when will the fighting start? Well, actually we'll start producing an army now, since it is a good idea. And we're going to have them sent over here, or how far can we send them? That looks good. Yeah, it does take a while to actually get into the combat in most cases in this game, because that's just how it is, but now that we actually have the numbers to... Now that we have the in-game economy actually going, it's always best to, in most cases, or it's best in most cases to focus on your economy early to mid-game, and then your army really is more of a late game thing. That way you don't run into issues of... That way you don't run into issues of getting completely overpowered in the late game, so... So the first of our units is already starting to arrive. What is left as far as the building these things? 1, 2, 3, 4 different buildings are left, really, and most of them look like they... Or at least that one doesn't appear to require any more gold, so that's good. These two are just requiring wood, no longer requires gold, and has the gold already there, so we're largely going to have our army be up to snuff the moment the gold production here really starts to kick in, so. But you're typically going to want a lot of dudes to actually get into a fight properly, because the enemy is going to have a lot of dudes. Which is another reason why this takes a little while. I think I can start getting... Do I need to build gardeners again? Let's see. Shovels. Build a couple shovels. That's built. Should actually probably consider building one large house right next to this, just so the population can go straight to picking up stuff. We're gonna go with over here. Alright. Typically, you're going to want at least 40 dudes before you get into any actual fights. And now that I'm looking at it, I should probably increase the bow production significantly more. Because you're going to want to use mainly your archers to actually fight the enemy military itself. These axemen are mainly going to be there to destroy their industry as quickly as possible. How many dudes do we have here? There, that should get us going again. What is left to actually prioritize? That and that. That should fix what morale issues we have. Faust asks, why not streaming to other sites in the same time? Well, you know, I've considered it. Just haven't really gotten around to it, I guess. Let's go ahead and do that. Maybe I should, to be honest, because, yeah. Okay, so we are good to go here and get this done. And this has to be high priority too, so... where am I going to put you guys? I'm going to have you guys expand there just for the sake of it. Alright. Need an axe before you can occupy this building. Okay, we will build an axe. So yeah, our military production should be, everything basically is ready to go once we're 93%. That should be high enough, I guess. Most I could think of at this point would be to add another one, maybe one more building, but not really necessary. Yeah, we're good. That building's going to be finished soon. So that's why. There was another house being built here I forgot about. Whoops! Alright, everything is ready to go. I just need my army built up enough. Which, I think, we're going to speed up the process by skipping a few minutes. Ah, there we go. So we can't actually replenish anything in terms of the mines. That's actually, I guess, a Roman specialty, so that's fine. We have plenty of resources either way that we don't have to worry too much about it. Retro Man donates to say, "Hi mate, you stream more often these days. Weird I didn't get notified. Have you heard of a cursed farm and stopped killing games?" I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't really looked into it too much, so that's one of the reasons why I haven't really covered that drama, but I need to have a much more of a look into it. And Eric says, "I signed it and contributed to 4 more people signing that petition." How else do you sign the petition? The big thing I'm probably going to be covering next, in all honesty, is probably going to end up being the drama with Ready or Not and the console release getting screwed up, because apparently what happened is Void Interactive decided to censor the PC version to make it cross-compatible, so people are to make it more, which is yeah, that's not good. Alright, now we should have the numbers. We're at 97% for combat effectiveness, and we got 25 each. Let's actually see what 1 more minute does. A couple more, but not too many. Okay. But we can always build another large residence, which we shall do now. In fact, we'll build 2. We can wait till we get 30 of these. There. Now we're really good. This should be more than enough to basically crush them, and then we'll be able to go straight from there to... The strategy I've got in mind is I'm going to, like I said, try using the Axemen to destroy their farms, and from there, we should be able to basically defeat whatever they have left. Faust says 737,999 out of 1 million signatures collected. We can do it. It's important to sign it. Eric says tomorrow a number is planned to trend our hashtag on Twitter for the SKG campaign. I do hope we get 1 million signatures. That would actually be interesting, yes. I'm actually going to hold my swordsmen back because they are only level 1s for 1 and 2. You need those guys to actually occupy towers and stuff, and that is really, really important. Alright, now that our army is ready to go there, we'll see what we can run into and then hopefully crush them very quickly and efficiently. I think we have an opening here that is not very well guarded, or it's just going... Oh, it just peters out to nothing. Okay, but this we do have to worry about. I'll leave my priest here. All right. Alright, we've crushed their main army already, it looks like. Okay, we can now use the troops that we have in reserve, the axemen and archers we do have, to wreck whatever is left. Find what we can in terms of the enemy farms. Once the axemen can do their thing and destroy those farms, it will help us out quite significantly in their ability to wage war on us. So, there's one right there. Alright, I think everything is good. Ooh, another... Eric says, Thor from Pirate Software is such a D-bag. Yeah, I don't know what all the drama is going on with regards to that, but which is one of the reasons why I didn't really cover it much. Well, they have another army. Well, if we can destroy this army too, that'll actually help us out a fair bit. Ooh, another army of dudes, except this is only 2 of them. Okay. Alright, now that our reinforcements have arrived, we're going to put these axemen to good use wrecking these. This should work, because that's what axemen are known for being able to do. If it doesn't work, then plan B, I guess, is going to be in vogue, which is just use the gardeners to do their thing and... Come on, destroy this. Please. I know that the Axemen are able to destroy regular buildings, but I guess they're not able to destroy these, which is unfortunate. Fortunately, we do have a backup in the form of these bad boys. Priest can actually cast the spell anyway, so it doesn't matter. And we'll find another one around here. Boom. Now that that's fixed, I guess I'll not make any more of these guys since they're not useful for the fight. They'd be extremely useful against other factions like the Mayas or the Romans, I guess, but not here. Alright. Let's build way more of these shovels because we're going to need way more gardeners. Alright. Boom. Another farm over here, which we will quickly destroy. Because remember, getting rid of these farms means getting rid of large chunks of the enemy army. At least in the future, because they won't be able to replenish their losses quite so easily anymore. Alright, we seem to be good on that front. See what else we can find in terms of the actual farms, because every single one of them we destroy is a good thing. Absolutely. Ooh, here's another one right here. Two, three, four, five, and 6 farms destroyed. Probably going to be another couple around here somewhere. We do have to avoid this area, though, because there's a building there that will insta-kill us if we try getting too close to it. Oh, look, another farm, and another one right there. No, you went the wrong way and died as a result. So there's a farm there, and then there's another thing there. Okay, good to know. Get some of our priests into position. I think now we're in a good spot for these gardeners, so we'll have them start to maneuver. Shame we can't get these guys to attack this. I think the plan is going to be we're going to get our priests to destroy what other farms we can find, and then from there, take out. Eric says, Ace, why do you bully all the swamp people? What did the Irish ever do to you? Alright, here comes these dudes, the priests. Alright. Making more of these shovels, excellent. How many free citizens do we have? Why am I hearing random dudes die? I see. Alright, so what I'm going to do is have these guys hold position. Anything that comes near them, they're not going to charge in willy-nilly like they have been before, which has been probably caused some of these guys to... Faust says, man, I didn't know this spell could destroy building. Use Thor hammer spells and garners and it was paid. Yes. Well, the reason why it works is because you have to remember these buildings have to be built on the Darklands. So if they are not on the Darklands, they instantly get yeeted and these buildings get instantly destroyed. We're close to getting another batch of gardeners ready to go, and once we do, that should be it for the mission, I guess. The next mission can actually be done relatively quickly, so I don't know if I should do it. Okay, someone just died horrifically there, and the game for some random reason. Alright, so we found another farm. Perfect. Order these guys to hold position here once they're all ready to go, and we'll just work our magic like normal. That's destroyed. See if there's anything around here. Ooh. You made a horrible mistake, my friend. First batch of gardeners is already wrecking stuff. Good. There should be another farm around here somewhere in the north. Yes, here you are. So now that that farm's down, we can go ahead and move this guy back. You can destroy this. They've got to be running close to out of farms at this point. I could send one of these guys a scout. And probably will, actually. So we'll do that. Move these guys in as well. How many? Okay, we are out. Or are we actually out? No, we're not. So I'll get another 10 of these dudes here. And then also, while we're at it, build another large house since we need that. Absolutely. In fact, we'll build 2 large houses. Did I say 2? I meant 3 large houses. There we go. Well, another farm right here, huh? Well, I know exactly how to deal with that. Yep, building is still very much active. There's got to be at least a couple farms out that way. Alright, you guys will start cleaning up down here. The goal is we're going to get you guys then moved up north to clean this sector while we slowly destroy whatever farms they have left. And let's build a couple more of these guys while at it. Oh, we'll destroy that real quickly. Alright, there we go. And Johnny says to Eric, I'm part of the swamp person. Is that why I enjoy water and vegetables? Eric says, oh, be honest, by water you mean fire water, aka whiskey, and by vegetables you mean Sicily potatoes. Potatoes are good, man. Delicious. Okay, we can now move. Ooh, you're gonna try attacking my units. Awesome. Well, you're gonna make a horrific mistake for doing that. Okay, sure they might bag one or two dudes, but they're not gonna bag all of them. You guys go into here, deal with that. Okay, we can cast another one of those spells, which would be nice. Another farm right here. Let's yeet this one into the afterlife. Actually, let's focus more on whatever farms are going to be up there. There's gonna be one there, and I thought there was another one around here somewhere. Yes. Okay, and it didn't even do it. Right, awesome. Okay. Alright. That's dealt with. We can now move our towers again a little bit closer. Once the supply line situation is completely sorted out, we'll have the logistics necessary to just... with all that, getting close to getting most of these pillars here uncovered, which is good. Pretty sure I can get another priest to come in and help as well. There. And we're close to getting that bit dealt with, which is awesome. Ooh. We've destroyed that. Let's move to destroy that. And this farm. We're going to be quickly running out of farms for them to use, which means we can then take out their main building to... Alright. Uh-oh, these guys are getting too close. Okay, there's clearly another farm back here or something if these guys are going all the way over there to get stuff. That farm's destroyed. What do we even have left at this point? Not a whole lot, surely. Alright, you guys head up there. You head up here. Basically, this farm situation is going to be largely dealt with at this point. They can't have... Ooh, there's got to be another farmer up here. Okay. And that should be closing in on the end game. This stage can't be too much left. Bring out another priest. They've got one farm here. Good to know. And another farm up there. We'll destroy both of them. Alright, Johnny O'Malley says, I think this is where I get off here. Thank you for the stream, Ace. Keep that spark burning. Eric says, I made some apple ale last year. Still have a 5-liter jug of it. Bye, Johnny. Goodbye, everyone, says Johnny. Alright, so yeah, we are in a pretty good state as far as this is concerned. Once these two are dealt with here, we actually better get these guys moving back over here before they accidentally get themselves killed. I think what we need to do is get all the stuff that's around these this ring river here dealt with, and then once that's finally done, we are good. The mission is basically done, and we're one. So we're getting pretty close to that at this stage. We just need a little bit more time and effort, and we'll have it. That farm is down for the count. This one is also down for the count now. How close are they? Do they still have the barrier up? Because if they don't, then that is their last farm, but it might still be up, so, you know. It is still up. Not that it matters, because we just won. Okay, so they had 1, 2, 3 farms left at least. And I know I still have priests around here somewhere, so let's just do that. At this point, it's a matter of spite, because screw these guys and constantly doing screw the Dark Tribe at this point. Eric says, I just saw Horse Girl racing game, why are we alive? That's a good question. I guess we're here to suffer. Alright, now that that one's just... Oh. They actually have an army around here. Well, I know how to fix that. Yeah, what's this? Another little army there. Nothing that my troops can't eventually handle, so we'll do that. We now have enough mana to actually hit both of these. Alright, now that that's dealt with, barriers down, they're screwed. Wonder if my axemen can actually destroy that. Be awesome if they could, but if they can't, then hey, that's fine. Even though we already won, like I said, I'm doing this out of spite at this point. Nope. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, they didn't coming out of it, so that's nice. Alright. Once we destroy, like I said, what's left of these guys in terms of both their army and the one building they have there will be golden as far as I'm concerned. And that is how you destroy them. Okay, let's see. And now we just, like I said, wait till we destroy that, and then at that point we will finally be good. Almost there. In fact, we could even potentially destroy it with this spell here once we get it going. Boom! And there it went. And now, I think we can call that mission. Technically, I could just keep pressing F9. Alright, we'll just expand it a little bit quicker even. The Dark Lands have been largely cured in this sector, so we'll just go here. Boom. And that should be all of that now dealt with. Eric says, "Oh, my Philadelphia will have no trash collecting or 911 operators from today. They are on strike." Woof. That is some interesting news, to say the least. So I think we are at a good calling point because we just beat the mission, and yeah, it did take us a little bit of time, but I'm happy with that. And yeah, we'll go ahead and call it a mission. So we had 230 soldiers to their 188, 200 battles. We had more strength than they did. Ores definitely an advantage because they don't really gather that. And definitely more. Okay, so yeah, we did much better is basically what this is saying. Simple enough. Alright, so I think that's a good stopping point. The next mission is going to be a pretty short one, admittedly.
Trampling out the toadstools.
Then we have... Yeah, so yeah, I think we're at a good stopping point there. So yeah, this has been Ace. Once again, thank you to all of you who had donated. Eric says it was a chill stream. Thanks for that. Yep, indeed. This is very much a chill game to relax by. There is a little difficulty to it, of course. If you let it be difficult, it can be. But you can also just have a good relaxing time. And that's pretty much what I think we've done here. So yeah, this has been Ace. I hope you have enjoyed watching me play some more Settlers 4 as much as I've enjoyed playing it. And I hope to see you all again soon. Until then, take care. Ace out.